Rahul will lead in Shubman Gill's absence. Rishabh Pant and Ravindra Jadeja return for the first time since the Champions Trophy. Jasprit Bumrah will rest, and Shreyas Iyer and Hardik Pandya continue to recover from their injuries. India have announced their squad for the upcoming ODIs against South Africa. 4 changes to the side that travel to Australia. Here are the major talking points. Shubman Gill's injury means Rahul will lead an India side for the first time in nearly 2 years. Gill, of course, suffered that neck injury on day 2 of the first test against South Africa. That led to him being hospitalized in Kolkata, and he later missed the second test in Guwahati. And Gill is not the only injury and forced absence in this ODI squad. The newly appointed vice-captain Shreyas Iyer will also miss out as he recovers from the spleen injury he suffered in the third ODI in Australia, while Hardik Pandya continues to recuperate from the quadriceps injury he'd suffered during the Asia Cup. Rahul does have captaincy experience for the international side. He's led a total of 16 internationals, 12 ODIs, the last of which was in South Africa in December 2023. Perhaps the most notable change in this side is the return of Ravindra Jadeja, for it appears to have come at the expense of Akshar Patel. Jadeja wasn't part of the side that went to Australia, but he had clarified that the selectors and the team management had communicated the decision to him, and Ajit Agarkar, the chief selector, had stated on the record that Jadeja continues to remain in the scheme of things and just couldn't be picked for an Australia side because India couldn't take 2 slow left-armers to Australia. Jadeja last featured in ODIs in the Champions Trophy win earlier this year, which, if you remember, was a tournament where Akshar Patel had more than handy contributions with the bat. So it's interesting that India have chosen a white ball side without Akshar, because he has been someone who's regularly been used at number 5 or number 6 in both the white ball setups of late. The more notable absence in the batting group is Shreyas Iyer, who's been India's most prolific middle order batter since the start of 2023. That means a return for Rishabh Pant, who was part of the Champions Trophy squad but didn't get a game at that tournament. In fact, you'd have to go back over a year for the last ODI that Pant played, which was in Sri Lanka in August 2024. There's also a recall for Tilak Varma, who played the last of his 4 ODIs back in December 2023, but has since gone on to establish himself as a regular in the T20I setup. Tilak was also part of the India A side that took on South Africa A recently in Rajkot. He had middling returns there, scores of 39, 29 not out, and 11. India's preferred balance in white ball cricket means that it's very likely that there'll be room only for 1 out of Pant or Tilak, so it'll be interesting to see which way they go. It's also interesting to note that Dhruv Jurel continues to feature in this side, which means India have 3 wicketkeepers in the squad of 15. There's also room for one of India's most consistent batters in List A cricket. Ruturaj Gaikwad boasts an average touching 60 in 50-over cricket and has recent form behind him. In the South Africa A series, he had a century and an unbeaten half century. He played the last of his 6 ODIs back in December 2023 in South Africa, but you think he's unlikely to feature. His role is likelier to be that of reserve opener because Yashasvi Jaiswal has been waiting in the wings for a while. He got his ODI debut at home against England at the start of this year. He was originally in the Champions Trophy draft squad before being taken out of it. He was also part of the squad in Australia but didn't get to play a game. So you'd think Jaiswal is going to get a chance to add to his ODI caps and perhaps leave a mark in this series.